Alright, well, Boston handled their business as they kept home court advantage heading into Game 2 as they won the opener with a final score of 107-89. And to be honest, the game wasn't even that close, as some of that gap was closed in the garbage time minutes. Boston's lead got as high as 29 points before Dallas made a run in the third quarter, shrinking that lead to 8 before it quickly inflated once again and then shrunk down a little bit in the final minutes. Now first off, we gotta talk about the guy returning from injury, Kristaps Porzingis. There was some question marks about how KP would look returning from injury, but man, did he put those to rest. KP was killing it, and you know this was a meaningful series for him, seeing that he was going against his former team. Dallas really didn't have much of an answer for his length, as he was hitting shot after shot, and to be honest, in that first quarter, he was looking like Wilt Chamberlain with a 3-point shot. Not only was his length fantastic on offense, but defensively, he was a terrorizing force. And it deeply affected this Dallas team as they didn't convert a single lob pass on the entire evening. That is usually a staple of their offense, and they couldn't even get a single one. Some of that credit obviously has to do with Boston's rotations and them making good reads. But Porzingis definitely deserves the lion's share of that credit as he was disturbing them with his length. Now again, on this channel, we've talked about the depth of the Celtics at length, and they showed that tonight as 6 of their guys scored in double figures. Now get this, if Jason Tatum scores only 16 points, goes 6 of 16 from the field, has as many turnovers as he has field goals made, and they still win by this much, then that obviously bodes really well for Boston. Luka did his best to carry Dallas, as he finished the game with 30 points and 10 rebounds, but he only had 1 assist. There was simply too much isolation basketball from Dallas, even by their standards, as they usually play a lot of isolation. If they're going to beat this Celtics team in a 7-game series, then other guys have got to step up. And Kyrie especially can't go an entire half being MIA, because that's how those big leads develop. If I'm being honest, Kyrie just looked off, both physically and mentally. He was making terrible passes, he was dribbling the ball off his own foot, and he was making so many uncharacteristic mistakes that even made me start to wonder if he was psyching himself out about this revenge opportunity that he's probably been thinking about quite a bit. Now let's do our best to not overreact, because the truth is, this Mavericks team is incredible at bouncing back, and they have a chance to do that in Game 2, and if they win Game 2 in Boston, they're still walking away stealing home court advantage. Dallas had very few assists and couldn't make any 3-point shots. At times, it looked like the Monstars had stolen their talent. I have a hard time seeing them struggle this much in Game 2, but regardless, you gotta give credit to Boston's defense. Between KP, Jaylen Brown, and Derek White, they were a smothering force on D against this team. Now I quickly gotta mention some of the key stats for the teams on this night. Luka has averaged 9 assists per game throughout the course of these playoffs, and in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, the entire Mavericks team had 9 assists. Simply put, they gotta be moving the ball better in Game 2. Dallas also shot only 26% from 3-point range and took 15 less attempts than Boston. Now throughout the year, Boston was the number 1 ranked team in 3-pointers attempted, and Dallas was number 2. The Mavericks can't expect that disparity in 3-pointers to be that significant if they're expecting to win. As usual, I'm sure almost everyone is gonna overreact to this single game, where Boston held on to home court. But for any doubters about the quality of this Boston team based on their road to the finals, this was a statement game, as they completely shut down the Dallas offense. As far as the finals MVP watch after Game 1, there's really no standout candidate. It's probably either KP or Jaylen Brown as things currently stand. Luka did play well, but obviously he almost certainly isn't going to win the award unless they come back and win this series. If we're being honest, this was the perfect storm for a blowout for Boston. Nobody showed up other than Luka. Dallas wasn't making their threes, Kyrie even looked nervous in the spotlight, and I wouldn't bet on Porzingis coming out this hot every night. For goodness sake, it was his incredible first quarter performance that had them up by 17 points after the first 12 minutes. That was actually the biggest first quarter lead after the first quarter of a Game 1 in the NBA Finals in NBA history, which really just tells you how big of a tone setter that was for this group. As I mentioned before, Dallas is really good at bouncing back, and this isn't a position that they haven't been in, as they actually got blown out in Game 1 versus OKC. So in some ways, this is a familiar position that they've conquered before. But that was a different team, with a much younger first seed. Coming back against Boston is going to be even more difficult. But if we've learned anything in these playoffs so far, is that you should never count out this Dallas group. So what do you guys think? What adjustments should Dallas make in order to take Game 2? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.